I do these videos for a couple reasons. One, to get stuff off my chest, things that bother me, that are probably bothering a lot of people out there. I can't be alone in all of this shit. And number two, I don't believe in God, okay? I lost that belief a long time ago, so I keep reaching for something that I do believe in. Maybe something old and outdated, okay? Because I can't believe in the concept of God and Jesus, okay? I just can't believe that shit. Because I was taught that God shows its presence using the spirit of his son to pass through people that are moving in the wrong direction with others and helps them shed some light on what they need to do. I have not seen any of that shit in my lifetime, okay? All I see is evil, evil, evil everywhere. I haven't picked up my mail in about a month because, well, my car's been having issues. So that's like, I'm being nickeled and dimed there. And then gas prices, you're afraid to go too far because, well, you don't know what's going to happen. Your car's going to break down along the way. You don't have money to tow it back to where you're, hovering in my case. And, the gobbling up of gas nonstop takes a huge impact on what little funds you do have. So I pick up my mail today. It's been accumulated. What do I see? And it just, it's the mixture of stress, anxiety, and huge amounts of anger. Huge amounts. Once again, it's this New York State Department of Labor saying, we need proof that you were eligible for pandemic money. And if we don't get it by this timeline, we're going to back bill you the pandemic dollars that you received. So I try to call the advocacy line because my big question is, after all these times, since the beginning of time, okay, where you've collected all these tax dollars from multiple channels, from all these people throughout all this time, how is it that you don't have a solid system of records? That's my question. Because I've already provided you with all this information. As a matter of fact, upon application for pandemic dollars, before I became approved and eligible for those pandemic dollars, I had to provide you with all the information that you're now asking me for once again, with your threat that if I don't provide it again, that you're going to back bill me for whatever you paid me. So not only did I provide you with the information in advance before you made the determination that I was eligible and before I received any money from you, but along the way you kept sending me these other notices saying that I owe you money from before the pandemic dollars were even sent out. And there was strict guidelines under the CARE Act that you were not allowed to take dollars from the pandemic funds for prior periods. And I pointed all those things out to you. And I've sent you responses through your online services, which go into this abyss, the oblivious of the unknown, because they have no way to manage this. I have faxed you responses costing me money to fax it to you at the local Staples or Office Max Depot, whatever. I have mailed you large packages of information responding to your ongoing notices for the same information. costing me money in not only postage, but printing charges, and then my time associated with answering all your responses and trying to put some type of, organized thought against it, because you're obviously not organized in your thoughts. You don't have a solid system in place. You have obviously no way of accurately managing any information that comes through to you. And here it is, once again, New York State employees are looking to get reimbursed for monies that they were given by the federal government to accurately manage through their administrative process. They elected to do it through the Department of Labor. That's not my fault. If they elected to do it through the Department of Labor, knowing that they don't have a solid system of management to capture, nor do they have staff educated to accurately, it blows my mind. How can you have a Department of Taxation and Finance that can audit businesses that are not associated, private businesses, and claim that they are not managing their businesses in accordance to any type of proper record keeping if you yourself don't do that? You can't hold somebody accountable without holding yourselves accountable first. And nothing for nothing, you want to say you're the arm of a government entity? You're not. You're a bunch of little, that makes me so mad. You carry no wisdom, no knowledge of your current situation nor your past situations. And then you want to push all your deficiencies out there on us. That's not our fault. That's your fault. You have had so much money. If I had the money that was just handed to me with no type of, accountability is a good word, but it's more like expectation. Just pass through money with no expectation whatsoever by the general public of people. I would love it if somebody just passed me a boatload of money so I could just go frivolously blow it on whatever the fuck I want to. That's our government. That is the New York State Department of Labor. Didn't I see news headlines that you were caught? Your employees were stealing pandemic money? You get some nerve sending letters out on all these counts. One, you are not keeping accurate records yourself. That's the number one thing. Number two, you're putting unprecedented duress, stress, and anxiety on individuals that are already in a stressed situation. We're in distress. People are in hardship times. The only people not walking around feeling the turbulence of hardship, they are called government employees. The spoilage, the golden childs, they don't feel it because they're covered by the debt we're carrying on our backs because of their overspending, their mismanagement of everything. Oh, until they figure it out. Oh, until we gain the knowledge that we need to properly manage the government. That shit doesn't fly anymore, okay? It does not fly. I'm so sick and tired of the government. I'm so sick of getting bullshit like this in the mail. And then when you call the advocacy, they're like, well, we can't answer that question about the record management, but it sounds like if you just, provide them with what they're looking for. I already have. So now I have to spend my time going back, pulling out information, and hoping that it gets into the right cubby hole in their system. Because now the federal government is looking for this stuff. You should have been providing them with ongoing reporting as it was occurring. And before you even accepted the job of the administration of all these funds, you should have made damn sure you had a structure, a systemic structure in place that could manage all of this with checks and balances along the way. Okay? So now I have to go ahead and respond to this stuff again. It's so fucking annoying. And on top of that, on my ride today before I picked up my mail, I get the radio on and I hear how Kathy Hochul is leading the way to get elected as the first female governor of the state of New York. I am so sick and tired. So sick and tired of hearing the first female this, that. Women's rights have gone too far. Through all this time, they have done nothing, not a fucking thing, to even throw a line, a safe line, a lifesaver to any women out there that are going through worse times than you could ever imagine. They have done nothing to put a complete halt and stop on domestic violence and abuse. They have ramped that up. Not only have they ramped it up, this whole taking of children with your kids for cash scams, putting them in juvie and in jails and prisons to feed your fucking system. I cannot stand to hear another first woman any fucking thing. I don't want to hear it. Women are the catalyst that broke the whole family structures back. Women get to, with their jealous, sick strands, get to step into another woman's house, and they have the right, and nobody ever stops them or says, don't you think it's wrong what you're doing to that woman and to her children? By stepping into her house and taking her personal things and destroying them like it's some game, or taking her personal things and then acquiring them for yourself so you can pretend because you have an identity crisis and you don't know who the hell you are, so you want to pretend that you're somebody else. Through all this time, not one woman in these first women positions have ever, ever, ever stood up for women. None of them have. They use women in this sounding block to get themselves to these positions, and then they do everything to promote ongoing abuse with other women so they can stay on top, using the men as their crux. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to tell you right now, if Kathy Hochul ends up the governor of the state of New York, we are going to war, and it's going to be right here in the United States. Mark my word. I am really fine-tuned at seeing the future coming so fucking close. If Kathy Hochul becomes the governor of the state of New York, it's a guarantee this country, we're going to war. It's going to be delivered right on your doorsteps. You better block that shit and block it hard.